If you like the video or any other content on the channel, feel free to subscribe.
Alrighty, so this is our map today. We're going to do Hammer and Anvil, Sites of Power, and Vox Static. So CP rerolls will cost an extra CP. It's going to be the Tau versus the Dark Angels today. Let's see what the armies are and go on to the battle. Okay, so this is my 1995 points of Mont'ka Tau today. So we have a Riptide with the Ion Accelerator, and we have 10 Pathfinders with three of them have the Ion Rifles, 3 Sinus Forge Crisis Suits, so they are the ones with the Fusion Blasters, with a Cold Star Commander, and he has the Strike Swiftly enhancement, so he can pick 2 units and give them a 6-inch Scout. I have 2 Broadsides with the Railguns and the Smart Missile Systems. I have another Riptide with the Heavy Burst Cannon, 2 Devilfish with the Seeker Missiles, 3 Stealth Suits, a Hammerhead with the Railgun, another 3 Stealth Suits, 3 more Sunforged Crisis Suits with the Warlord Farsight. Finally, we have 10 more Breachers with a Cadre Fireblade, and he has the enhancement that gives him an extra round of Mont'ka. And those 2 units, the Breachers, will be going in the Devilfish. And let's see what the Dark Angels are bringing today.
Today we are running the Dark Angels with the Inner Circle again. With the points decreases, they got better. They're still not top tier, but they're definitely better, so I figured we'd give them a go because I think they're fun. So running today, we are running 3 groups of Deathwing Terminators, and we are running a group of Deathwing Knights. They are led by a Terminator Captain. So he will give them the reroll to charge. We are running a group of 5 Assault Intercessors. They're probably just going to be standing on objectives. We're running our group of 10 Hellblasters led by Ezreal. He gives them the sustained hits as well as putting a 4-up invuln on them. So he definitely gives them a lot more survivability. So over here we are running, there's our 3rd group of Terminators. We are running 3 Ravenwing. In case you didn't know, Terminators don't run fast, so having something a little bit faster is ideal. We are running the Lion. He is our Warlord. You know, he's Mr. Johnson. He kills stuff if he gets close. We are running 2 Ballistas Dreadnoughts just to get some back range fire, and he is running a Tech Marine. Unfortunately, a lot of the Deathwing stuff does not apply to these guys, so the Tech Marine's there to give him a little bit more firepower. So hopefully we can deep strike on top of some robots and kill them before they do things.
For our deployment, the Tau, we deployed quite a bit on the line here. We did deploy both the Devilfish right here, right beside the Strike Swiftly Commander, just so I can put Scout on those 2 Devilfish. My big firepower, my Broadsides, and my Hammerhead are behind the terrain back here. 2 Riptides doubled up over here just to hold this flank and march forward. Pathfinders, I've put them up over here. So I could scout if I need to block him off, or to get some shots, or just run away if he gets turn 1. Stealth suit on this objective. Stealth suit's back here. Commander Farsight is in deep strike with his crisis suits. Both the breacher teams in the Devilfish. So on Mike's side, he has his Hellblasters with Azrael behind this terrain here. He has his Ballistic Dreadnought with the Tech Marine and the Assault Intercessors standing on his home objective. Mr. Johnson is with his Terminator Guard. His 3 bikes ready here to pounce onto this objective. Another Ballistic Dreadnought, and a Terminator Squad, and the Deathwing Knights with the Terminator Captain are all in reserve. So I'm gonna have a lot of Terminators dropping down on my head. That's the deployment. We're gonna go on to first turn roll. Alrighty, so first turn roll, a 5, a 3. So the Tau do go first. I would have rather go second, so Mike could have came out to get some shots on him, but let's do my scout moves, and I'm going to my turn 1. For the scout moves, I did move these Pathfinders up 7 inches just so I can get some shots first turn onto these bikes, hopefully, and see if I can do some damage and maybe block off the line from moving some. My Devilfish using the Strike Swiftly enhancement on my commander here, so I did scout these Devilfish 6 inches. I forget what the enhancement's called, but it's the one where I pick an objective and then my entire army gets +1 OC. I will pick this objective, and it is the Breacher team here with the black weapons here. So we'll have him, so if he dies, then I lose the +1 OC on this objective for my entire army. Mike's teleport homers, he did drop this one over. So this one does have the Chain Fist fella, so it's his Terminator group with the Chain Fist. And over here is the Terminator squad that does not have the Chain Fist. So we're going to go on to my turn 1 and see what cards I get and see if I can push forward, just because I'm not gonna have a lot of shot lines. So let's hope for some spicy cards. Alrighty, so let's see what I get here. Turn 1 draw, yeah. Bring it down. Well, I need to kill his vehicle, and there's no vehicles to be shot turn 1, and Aerial Denial. Aerial Denial will be an easy 5 points, but bring it down. Is this going to be a CP? So I go up to 1 CP, Mike goes up to 1 CP. Let's go on to my movement. My turn 1 movement phase was more like a shuffle phase. I just moved these broadsides over with a 9, because I got a 4 on the advance. Brought the Hammerhead out. I won't be able to shoot anything with him, but he's just out there just to do some screening. Brought the Riptide out because I do have a lane onto these bikes over here. And then I just moved the Pathfinders out just to kind of screen Mr. Johnson from moving forward as much as I can. Shuffled the Stealth Suits over to grab Aerial Denial. Moved the Devilfish out onto this objective. And this Devilfish behind the terrain. That is the movement. I don't know if I'm going to move my crisis suits or not yet. I think they're just going to stay here just to see what I can do with them next turn. And that is the movement. And we're going to go on to the shooting. Not much shooting to do. We're just going to shoot the Riptide and possibly the Pathfinders into the Raven-winged bikes. Okay, so the shooting phase, I wasn't able to kill out this last Blackwing Knight from the Riptide. So that is the turn. There's nothing to charge, really. I could charge into the bikes with the Pathfinders, but I want to stay there and just slow Mr. Johnson down. And then I did get 5 points for Aerial Denial there. Bring me up to 5-0. Gonna toss, bring it down, just because there's only 2 vehicles to kill and line in the Mr. Johnson. So get that 1 CP, bringing me up to 2 CP. We're gonna go on to turn 1 for the Dark Angels. What do the Dark Angels draw for turn 1? Secure No Man's Land. You gotta get 2 objectives in No Man's Land and extend battle line. So pretty much just gotta get objectives in No Man's Land. I am up to 3 CP and Mike is up to 2 CP since he did spend 1 on Armor of Contempt. Turn 1, this will be the valid target, just giving him some extra bonuses, and the Pathfinders will be the Oath of Moment target. So on to Mike's movement. Let's see what he can do. Movement phase for the Dark Angels. He moved his Raven Wing Black Knight bike up here. I did Overwatch with the Pathfinders with a big 0 in damage. The Terminators just shuffle around here to get some shots onto my Pathfinders. Same if the Ballistas, he's probably going to put his little pew-pews in there and then his big guns into my Riptide. He shuffled this other Ballistas Dreadnought over here to do the same thing to get some shots into my Riptide over here. And then the Hellblasters also shuffled out just a tiny bit to get a bead onto these Pathfinders, because he doesn't want to give too many shot lines right off in turn 2. He wants me to keep on coming forward a little bit and then pounce on me with his Terminators in reserve and all that fun nonsense. So we're going to go on to the shooting phase and see what he can do against my Tau. Okay, so far for we've done just off camera, I have lost my Pathfinders, which was no surprise to all these Hellblasters shooting at them. Mike popped off with a sustain, nuked them into the ground. So now he does have this Ballistas Dreadnought and this Ballistas Dreadnought. I do believe we're both going to be firing into my Riptide, but for now, I think it's just the green one first.
Yes, he's the one who is not enhanced by the Tech Marine.
Alrighty.
All right, so we are doing the Crack Missile. Looking for 3 ups, rerolling hits because you're not below half.
Oh.
Well.
Toughness 9.
Strength 10.
Oh, trees.
So looking for a tree. That is not a tree. Where it's a D6, it could just be a CP for 1 damage. It's not reliable, so we're not going to do that. Okay, the las cannon is now shooting. Yay! Nice. Hit you 2 of the times. Strength 12, looking for 3s. Oh, hit you twice at AP 3.
AP 3. I do have a invuln, I do believe, in this big boy. 4-up invuln on my Riptide. Yeah. Makes 1, fails 1. I'll take the damage.
D6 plus 1.
All right.
4 damages.
He is down to 10 wounds. Chunky boy.
He is a chunky boy.
The Tech Marine infused Ballistas Dreadnought is now shooting into my Riptide again. Let's rock.
Crack missiles. Fires and missiles. All right, looking for trees. -2.
-2. Comes -1, I get cover. So I do need 3s because it does have a 2-up save because it is a chunky boy.
Okay. 5. And las cannon. Hey, it worked.
Nice.
All right. Looking for 3s. Hit you 2 of the times. AP 3 on your invuln.
Invuln. Fail 1, save 1. I will just let that go through.
Another 4.
For another 4 damage. So I'm down to 6 wounds on my Riptide. And that's all the shooting, I believe, from the big guns. We're going to check everything else here, and then we'll go into the charge phase. The only charge Mike can make is going to be a long bomb 10-inch charge onto these stealth suits.
No!
Can a CP reroll that?
No.
Yeah. I've got to kill Lion.
Yeah, no,
He would have been away from anyone protecting him, so I was just going to bring out my breachers and just baste them.
Nope, that's why I was like, if I get it, that'd be cool, but...
I think that was one of those charges that if you got it, it would have screwed you. So that is the charge phase done. Didn't make any of the charges. Wasn't really going to make that charge anyways, but either way, he does score 5 points for extend battle lines, 2 points for secure no man's land for having 1 in no man's land, and then 5 points for extend. So the points are up to 7 to 5 for the Dark Angels going in to Tau turn 2. And then my turn 2 cards, I should cover the turn, and then turn 2 cards, what do we get? We get Engage in All Fronts and Secure No Man's Land. Secure No Man's Land, awesome. Engage in All Fronts, not so awesome. All right, so let's go on to my movement and see what I can do against these Space Marines. Okay, so I'm going to go on to my shooting phase. I'm going to shoot this Riptide into these Terminators, and then I'm going to spot them with these stealth suits down here. Mike is going to use a stratagem, so I'm -1 to wound if I'm shooting at them, something with higher than their toughness, which is going to be happening because I'm overcharging these ion accelerator gun. Spotting, so I am hitting you on 3s, re-rolling 1s, because they are being spotted by a stealth suit. Re-roll 1s. It will be 4s to wound you. 2 wounds, AP3, get cover, so be your 4 up. On your 4th involved.
Oh, there were 3 of them?
Yeah. 4 damage each.
4 damage each. That's killing Terminators.
Plasma next. A 6. So that's a lethal.
And what did you need for the wound?
It was lethal.
You got the wound? Okay.
Yeah. If I spot you, everything's lethal.
Okay.
Make that, and then we have the missiles.
Pew, pew, pew.
2 lethal missiles. And 1 hit, since 3s. And that's just 2, AP1, damage 2.
Loves them.
Oh, loves it. Alrighty, so that is the giant Riptide done shooting. I did take out 2 of the Terminators. That's not too bad, so we're going to want to some other shooting. So the railgun from the Hammerhead is going to be shooting at this Ballistic Dreadnought. So Mike is going to pop Armor of Contempt, and I'm going to spot with this Riptide back here because there's not much left for him to shoot. I do need a 3. Can re-roll my thing because with the targeting thing they have on their little whatever it is. It's a hit, and it is strength. Yeah, it's targeting array. They can re-roll either 1 hit or 1 wound roll. And it's strength 20.
20? So you're looking for 2s.
2s to wound you. Ooh, lucky that's not a 6. Alright, that is AP5. So you will get a armor contempt. You get a 5 up
Down to
save.
3. Yep. 2 up to 5. Come on, 5. No.
And you're
Okay.
out of CP to reroll. So this is D6 plus 6 damage for 10.
He's down to 2.
All right, do I want to reroll? No, that's 10's pretty good. We'll keep the 10. So he's down to 2 damage from the railgun, and we'll probably shoot some seeker missiles and stuff off camera just to see if we can take him out. For the end of the turn, I end up taking out this Ballistus and 3 of these Terminators. That is not too bad for the shooting. I would like to pick off a few more so Mr. Johnson would have been a little more susceptible to shots, but that's about as much as I can do for this turn. I do get secure no man's land for 5 points. Gonna toss engage in all fronts because we're not gonna get that anytime soon. Gonna bring me up to 19 to Mike's 7. Going on to the Dark Angels turn 2. All right, so Mike, bring it down, no prisoners. And I'm up to 4 CP and Mike is up to 2 CP. So he does get 3 points for this objective and 3 points for this objective, bringing him up to 13 points to my 19. And we're gonna go into his movement phase and see what the Dark Angels can do. Dark Angels turn 2, my Devilfish will be the Oath of Moment, and this middle objective will be the Vowed objective for the Dark Angels ability. On to Mike's movement. So this is the end of the Dark Angel's turn 2 movement. He brought his Hellblasters out to get some shots onto the middle objective or this other Devilfish. He brought down using a CP just so he could drop down within 3 inches. He brought out this Terminator squad to most likely get some shots and charges onto my poor Riptide over here. And the Ballistic Dreadnought is still hanging out here. He didn't want to bring him out just because he didn't want to get shot next turn, just to hold on to him. He might need the heavy firepower later on in the game. And the hero, Tech Marine, is running across. He might be in open, but he should be able to get across to get some more buffs to Mike next turn. So that is the phase, the movement phase. I did spend a CP to rapid ingress down a fire sight over here just because there is a lot of pressure on the side of the board, so I do need some more guns on this side of the board. So that's the movement. I'm going to go into Mike's shooting, and then we'll see what he charges into. The shooting phase, not too potent, but the Dark Angels aren't known as a big shooting army, especially one full of Terminators. They're known for smashing me up in melee. So I did have to use 2 of my CP counter-fire defense systems just to give me -1 damage against all of these Hellblasters shooting at me, and it kept me alive. So I'm down to 6 health, and I was using that, I would be dead. So it keeps my Devilfish alive, so that is a bonus, but I do have some charges coming in.
All right, so can't charge there because I used the 3. So Termies are going to be charging into Big Chunka.
Termies into my Big Chunka.
Yes, that would get me within any.
The double ones, luckily, still gets in there pretty close.
I've seen them a bunch today. Mike is also charging.
Okay. He makes it, and Nate should make it, yeah.
The line's going to try to run at you.
Mike hasn't played Dark Angels, and I don't think and just the fact that he's a big walking man makes us sometimes forget that he is a monster unit, so he can't just charge through units anyways. I don't think you can anyways. I'll look that up, but he's monster anyways, so he couldn't just charge through his own units. Alrighty, so let's find out what happens in the melee phase. Okay, so now we have a bunch of, looks like power fists into my poor Riptide here, and let's see if he could punch my head in. And over here, Mike is going to spend 1 CP for Martial Mastery just to give him so he can reroll the 1s on the wound. He would be able to reroll them all for this objective because that is his valid one, but he wants to see if he can punch some wounds through onto my Riptide.
Because killing that thing is important.
Yeah, it'll give him bring it down and no prisoners. It'll give him quite a bit of points, so he does need to kill this thing.
Look at the 3s. And what's his toughness?
9.
9. All right, looking for 5s, rerolling 1s.
We've got some 1s in there to reroll, buddy.
Yep.
I do need 4-ups on my Riptide to save some damage here. I take 1, so I'm down to 4 wounds because I'm guessing these are 2 damage each.
Yep.
Is that all their punches?
There is a power weapon.
Oh,
so
yes.
The commander does have a power weapon. So he swings 4 times. Looking for 3s. Loves it. Still looking for 5s. Come on. Nope.
Yep, he can be a hero. So far I've taken 2 wounds from the Terminators. Not looking the best, but the Black Knight can still be a hero. Mike's dice have been kind of pretty cold today. Before we start the game, we were talking about how the dice he's using are usually quite consistent for him, but it's the way she goes in the hub town.
3-ups.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 of them are anti-vehicle 4.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Not the hero, sadly not. He is not the hero of the Imperium. That is the turn. I don't believe Mike is going to get anything on Bring It Down or no. Prisoner. Are you going to hold on to those cards or toss them?
I think I keep them.
Yeah, they're just pretty much, I have vehicles and you want to kill stuff.
I don't get more CP from...
Oh yeah, because you have...
Where I get 1 from Az, so yeah, I'm just going to keep them.
That's okay, so he's going to keep that as he gives them all the CP. So like you said, there's no real sense of throwing those cards, and those are great cards. I have vehicles all over the board, and he wants to kill stuff. So the score is still, I do believe it was 13 to 19. We're going to go on to the Tau turn 3. Turn 3, this is my last turn of the Mont'ka. I do gain 1 CP, bringing me up to 2. Let's see what my draw is going to be. I need something good. We got Deploy, Teleport, Homer. Not the best, but what we can do with that, maybe the Devilfish can probably do that. And Investigate Signals. And the score going into my movement phase is 25 to 13 for the Tau. Need to do some damage to kind of get these guys out of my lines here, or he's going to be standing on these objectives for the rest of the game. Alrighty, so for my movement, I did move up the Devilfish. Mike did Overwatch to try to destroy this poor Devilfish. He brought it down to 2 wounds, did lose a Hellblaster. He did not shoot back. He did use his 0 CP for rapid ingress, and then the 1 CP to bring him down 3 inches behind my poor Crisis Suits. Those are the Chain Fist fellas too, so these Crisis Suits are in for a bad day. Everything else moved up forward to get some shots onto this big blob in the middle. Everything's kind of tied up here. It's more detrimental being all tied up here, but all of us are all in the middle. It's going to be a big brawl for the middle. We're going to go on to the shooting and see if I can clear out some of these detonates, because I do need to clear them out before they smash into me, because Chain Fist and my vehicles don't mix. I'm going to spend my last 2 CP on this unit here to give it focus fire, so it has +1 to the AP, and then I use the combat disembarkation, I do believe it's called, so I can re-roll the wounds when I get out of a transport. So that is what I'm doing for there. So we're going to shoot those off camera just because there's so many shots, and see what is left of these Hellblasters. I will also use this group of stealth suits in the middle right here to spot this Hellblaster unit. So the Breachers did shoot into the Hellblasters, did do a lot of damage. And then Mike shot back with 3 of them, just hoping to get one of them through here, because that's all he needs to do is blow this up. He would get no prisoners and bring it down in my turn, scoring him big points, getting him back into the game. But his rolls have been awful. Like, we don't like to blame the rolls on the show here, but the rolls have been awful. So we're going to go on to more shooting, and we're going to go on to see if I can take out these Terminators in the middle. So I finished the shooting phase off camera. I did plink off another one of these Hellblasters, did take out 4 of the Deathwing Knights, took out a couple of these Terminators, but I didn't quite kill as much as I wanted to. I really wanted to clear out this middle, but a lot of these Fusion Blasters, with Mike able to save on 4-ops, it kind of makes them not as much damage as I like. And we still have these guys back here waiting to pounce on me. So I do believe I will try charging a few things. So I do believe I'm going to charge all this stuff into this objective over here, see if I can steal it. So here comes the first one. I want a nice high charge, a 9, that probably does it. A nice 9, and that opens up some room for Farsight. So Farsight is going to also try to charge in with a 5. That is probably not going to make it. I spent all my CP for that shooting phase, so I cannot re-roll. So we'll charge in the other Riptide as well. With a 9. Too bad we didn't get that on Farsight. So that I do believe is the charges. I don't think I want to charge anything to gum it up. I could. No, I don't want to charge any of my vehicles, because Mike might kill my vehicles and get some sweet, sweet known prisoners points. So that is the movement, or the charges. Let's go into the combat. Okay, here, so melee phase, we just bounced off each other. Not much going on here. I don't get anything for deploy or investigate signals. I meant to deploy with the Devilfish, but forgot to do it, so that's the way she goes. Points are still the same. I think it was 25 to 13. Okay, we're gonna go on to turn 3 for the Dark Angels and see what they can do, and see if they can kind of clear out some of these objectives and kind of get a hold of the game. Dark Angels, turn 3, they still have the exact same cards. He kept those cards. He will go up to 2 CP. So he does get 3 points for this and 3 points for this one, bringing him up to 19 points. Go on to the movement phase. Dark Angels. So when Mike moved back some of the Deathwing, Mike moved the Hellblasters back some. I did Overwatch. He probably baited that out of me because he didn't even really have to move them. So I did Overwatch, killed one of them. The Ballistus is standing over here, just ready to shoot into my Devilfish. The Lion and the other Terminators kind of moved out to sandwich this poor unit of Crisis Suits. The captain and his Deathwing Knights move forward to try to punish this Devilfish on the objective. And then Mike did do his Battle Shock test. He failed with both his units over here. Fell back. He did make the fallback moves without losing anything on the Terminators, but he did lose the Black Winged Knight by rolling a 1. So that is the movement phase. He's going to see what he can do here. Just the rolls have been off this game. Let's say we don't like to blame the rolls, but it's just been weird rolls this game. These breachers over here, and these breachers over here, heroes. With the Guardian drone, you would be, because Mike, a lot of stuff Mike's shooting is strength 4, so with the Guardian drones, it does make him have to wound on 4s. So the amount of 3s that this man has rolled against these breachers with the Guardian drones has been just unbelievable, really. They should be dead. Pretty much the Terminators, everything shot into them, still alive, but I did lose my Devilfish in the shooting phase. Didn't blow up, but he is dead. So what would you like to charge, my friend?
Okay, so Tech Marine's going to charge them.
Okay. He's full of anger.
Yep.
Anger and angst.
Fury for the Fallen.
12. Angry.
They will
Makes
run into
the 10
them.
onto those breachers, Terminators, and then
The Lion's going to run into them.
the Lion's going to run into my stealth suit. So he's trying to mop up a bunch of units at the same time.
All right.
So on to the fight phase, and let's see what Mike can do to clear out this side of the board and kind of get himself back in the game. Alrighty, so far Mike's melee phase, combat phase has been quite potent for him, really. So he was able to take out all of my breachers there, all of my breachers and my Devilfish. I was thinking of CP re-rolling it, but I do want to have a little bit of room for Farsight to get through here, because there's a bit of a log jam in the middle. The Lion into the stealth suits.
So 8 attacks, looking for 2s, lethal hits.
2s.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at AP 4.
Oh, that kills them dead. So the Lion will take out my stealth suits, so that's a big plus for him. So Mike is starting to clear out this side of the board. Now we just have the Terminators into my Crisis suits. Hitting on 3s.
Yep. The anti-vehicle would be it. 3s.
6 at AP2, but I do have a 4-up invuln. Yeah. Take 2. So how much damage are they each?
2.
So it does bring down a Crisis suit down to 1 health.
Oh, they 5 each?
Yes.
Yummy.
They used to have 6, but you can only put 1 shield drone on them now.
Okay.
So they live, which is big for me. I did need them to be alive, but Mike did smash up a lot of my army. He does, I do believe, he filled everything out on no prisoners, and bring it down. We'll let you know what the points are. We'll come back to that. Alrighty, so with Mike getting 5 points with Bring It Down and 5 points on No Prisoners, it is going to bring him up to 29 to my 25, going into Tal turn 4. So I do need a good draw for my Tal turn 4. We get Defend Stronghold. He's not going to be that anytime soon. And Cleanse. That's doable. We can probably cleanse with some Crisis suits and some other things and get us some points. So let's move on to the movement. I do get 3 points for this objective and 3 points for this objective, bringing me up to 31 to 29 for the Tau, going on to turn 4. Alrighty here, so for my movement phase, pretty quick and simple. Move this Riptide on here so I could cleanse. Shuffle this Riptide up here, get some shots onto these Terminators hiding in here. Move Farsight and his Crisis suits up here, get some shots onto the middle. Brought out the stealth suits so they can spot. Hammerhead moved over as well so we can shoot all of this stuff. These Crisis suits just stayed in here so we could shoot, because if I fall back I won't be able to shoot. And I think that's everything, all my stuff moved. Hammerheads, the broadsides moved over to get some shots as well if they need to. So that is the shooting phase. So let's go on to, or that's the movement phase. So let's go on to the shooting phase and see if I can clear out some of these objectives. For the shooting phase, kind of a wet noodle. I was able to take out a few of the Terminators over here. So I do have this objective. But other than that, the big guns are kind of bouncing off the 4-up invuln. So for now, we're just going to charge into Terminator Captain. And when I charge in, I'm going to use Tank Shock. I already rolled the charge with a 4. I'll roll it again. Ooh, look at that. Made it. And so we will Tank Shock, and we are Strength 10 with Farsight. We are looking for 5s and 6s, for a total of 6. 2. He takes 5 mortal wounds. Alrighty, so I was able to smash up this captain over here of Farsight, but the Lion was piled into my unit over here, so I did lose 2 of my crisis suits. I did take me out of combat with these fellas since we cannot activate and move them in now, but I do believe they'll be dead next turn from the Lion, but kind of keeps him tied up. But what can you do? We do get 3 points for cleanse, and defend stronghold is ongoing. So I'm up to 34 to Mike's 29, but he's going into turn 4 and he's going to get some points on these objectives. So let's see what he can do in his turn 4. What's your draw? Capture enemy outpost and defend stronghold. Hello. Crisis suits will be the Oath of Moment. And going on to Mike's movement turn, he is up to 35 points to my 34. Going on to turn 4, Dark Angel's movement. Not a lot done in Mike's shooting phase. He was able to plink off a few wounds off of my crisis suit. He did shoot at the Riptide, the damaged Riptide, wasn't able to do any damage to it. So now on to his charge phase. I'm guessing it's just mostly going to be these guys charging into my crisis suits. Makes it with an 8.
Ezreal, long bomb.
Long bomb, Ezreal.
Nope.
All right.
That's it for them.
Okay, so on to the combat phase.
15.
All right, so we do have the 15 smashes onto these crisis suits here. I would like them to live.
They have a decent chance.
They do have a decent chance of living
That
now.
was a hit. Anti-vehicle 3.
Yes. Smash. So we got 7 here, AP 2. I do need 4-ups because I do have inbounds. All right, and how much 2 damage each?
Yep.
I do lose my last crisis suit, but my commander is still alive. I think that is everything. You do score, what's your product? You defend and capture. Not getting captured. We're gonna toss that.
Yeah.
Toss and capture, and he probably will get defend unless I can find a way to stop that, but probably not happening. At the end of turn 4, I do score defend stronghold, bring me up to 37 to Mike's 35. So we're going to want to turn 5, and it's going to be a big one. This one's going to make a big difference, make or break the game, I do believe. Give me some secondaries that aren't awful. I do go up to 3 CP. Let's see if I can do anything with that. Let's get capture enemy outposts. That would be nice, but I don't know if that's happening. And overwhelming force. Kill things on objectives. So I got to kill things on objectives and capture enemy outposts. I didn't toss any of these.
I don't think you did.
Because you got to spend 2 CP.
Yeah.
I'll spend 2 my stinky CP, bringing me down to 1 to toss capture, just because I don't think I can get there. If I could get some shots, maybe the Riptide, but he's probably not. And I get a tempting target. So which one would you like to make tempting? This one there? All right, so I just need to get...
I think you can do it. I don't think there's anything you can do to stop it.
I might be able to do that one. All right, so that's tempting target is this one. Do grab this objective, and I have this objective back here, bringing me up to 43 to Mike's 35. So let's go on to the turn 4 movement for the Tau. For my movement, I moved everything up. It's pretty much if I can clear out the middle and take out this unit over here, I should be able to get enough points and stop Mike from scoring enough to kind of get ahead of me here, but we'll see. It just depends on what's going on here. I do believe I do need to take a lot of these units just to see if I can pretty much tie it, and then possibly he doesn't get any good secondaries next turn. So let's go on to my shooting and see if I can kind of clear out the middle. So Farsight did make a 10-inch, we thought it was 12, but because it was to this guy, but to this guy's a little bit further, and a 10-inch charge did make it from one of my crisis suits over here because he was like 10.5 away. So I'm gonna go charging into my melee. I've already used tank shock over here, so there's nothing more I can do over there. So I do have to try here and see what happens. So the end of my turn, the score is 48 to 38. So we're gonna go into Mike's draw and see what he can draw for his turn. Overwhelming force, kill things on objectives, and assassination, kill characters. Movement and shooting phase and see what happens. So Mike was able to take out my Cold Star commander there with the Ballistus, getting him overwhelming force and assassination. So the final score, because he's gonna get 3 points for there and 3 points for here, is going to be 52 to 48 for the Dark Angels. So the Dark Angels are won today. So they're not as bad as everyone says they are, but it was a great game, a lot of weird rolls, and We'll be back next time. I think next time I might either run Grey Knights or Salamanders, not sure. Well, and like I always say, thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by.